Chapter 13. We see Hiragi calling all the first-year students and telling them that the 3-day, 2-night summer camp will officially begin today. She continues and says that the participation in this camp is optional. This year, they are seeing many more participants than last year. The teachers all express their happiness towards this increase in students' willingness to learn. As she's saying this, someone interrupts her. We see that this person is Momo. She looks concerned as she tells Hiragi that the teacher for Class 1A isn't here yet. Now we see that Momo has learned that the MC is not coming to the camp. She screams in anger and says that this is utterly unbelievable and questions how he can just take leave at a time like this. We see that Momo is talking to Mari. Mari tells Momo that it certainly is unfortunate, but she's heard that the MC is still coming tonight and says that she's worried that he might not be feeling well. Momo, being absolutely angry, says, yeah, as unfortunate as it may be, but that's not the point. She says that the students all forked out money to come here to study and questions. Isn't it the teacher's job to properly help their students? Mari is creeped out a little by this and asks Momo why is she suddenly so desperate. Momo replies with desperation in her eyes and says, of course Momo will be desperate. She pulls out maths and physics books with worry written all over her face. She screams and tells Mari that Momo is planning to audition for a quiz game show beginning next year. If the MC doesn't force them to study, the whole world will find out how stupid Momo is. After finding out that this is the reason for her desperation, Mari thinks that everyone already knows that Momo is stupid. Momo keeps losing her shit as the teachers look at her. Sakede looks at her and says that Momo has lost her mind. Akashi looks worried as he tells that Momo will be a disgrace to the school with an attitude like that. Amari asks them, hasn't that girl already had a change of heart? To that, Akashi replies and tells that high school girls can be tough to deal with. Tenjiku looks worried, as well as she says that the MC fits the bill more than Momo, if they are speaking of hard to deal with, and says that she can't believe that he really took a leave. She looks at Sakede's class and says that his class is really well behaved. His class has the highest participation rate in this year's camp again, more than any other class, and on top of that, they're all really helpful too. Tenjiku cries and says that it's so sweet, but on the other hand, she usually gets belittled by the students. Akashi also cries with her and agrees with her. Akashi asks Sakede if there's some sort of secret formula to this. He looks at them for a minute and smiles as he says, that's a secret. As the teachers are talking about this, we see Momo and Mari eating together. Momo asks Mari if she wants to take a bath after eating. Mari replies and tells her that she'll take a bath at the end of the day and that she wants to go when there's no one else around. Momo asks her why and if she's on her period. She tells Mari that it's okay and that she'll go ahead first then. She likes to take long baths to keep her good looks. Suddenly, Momo thinks of something. She gets a bit stern and tells Mari that last time she told Mari that her clothes look very lame. They're so unfashionable and out of season. She tells Mari that she should really go study fashion more. Mari gets annoyed and tells Momo to just go already if she said that she's going. Momo walks away as she says, fine. Mari looks at her hand and thinks if it were the old her, there'd be no way she'd go to this camp. Now we see Mari in her room. She picks out a dress with short sleeves from a bag and thinks about what Momo said about her fashion. Mari thinks that she's not gonna let Momo dress her up like that. She removes her jacket and throws it on the ground. She looks at her arms and sees all the marks she's left on herself. Her eyes go crazy as she thinks that though there are plenty of scars left behind, she was lucky that there were no other hand-numbing after effects. Her eyes get more crazy as she thinks about the MC and questions if he'll dislike a girl like her. She thinks that maybe he'll prefer a girl like Momo, who's gorgeous and cute. She suddenly stops herself and thinks that she doesn't want this. At this rate, she's just like Oda. As Mari talks about Oda, Oda in her house sneezes. Now we see Momo in the bath as she thinks that no matter how much she believes in it, no matter how much she thinks about it, teachers have to be just what teachers should be. As she's soaking in the bath, she thinks that it's not like anyone asked them to constantly stand by their side or work 24/7 without sleep. She recalls the MC telling her that as long as she's his student, he'll continue to support her. She thinks, wouldn't it be great if it actually happened? She remembers all the times the MC was kind to his students and thinks that it was all nothing more than lies, even if it was supposedly part of his job. She thinks that he's more fake than Oda, precisely because he's a big, fat liar. Oda sneezes again at her house as she wonders if someone is talking about her behind her back. Now we see the MC coming to the camp at night. Tsubaki greets him with a smile and says that it's about time for the star of the show to appear. The MC calls her name and index number and tells her that students are prohibited from leaving the school premises after 8 p.m. during this camp. She replies and tells him to not be such a dork, and that she just wants to talk to him in private, that's all. She continues and tells him that he doesn't have to be so defensive. Unlike Momo, she's not the type that will honey trap him. The only kind of girls who'll do that are worthless and brainless. She tells him if she ever wants to do anything to him, she can get him fired at the snap of a finger without having to resort to such roundabout methods. But that won't do. Like all the others they've had before, they'd like for him to personally resign after crumbling under his own chagrin and humiliation. He stays calm and says, "I see." He walks past her as he tells her that this was a waste of time after all. As he's going, Tsubaki cheers up and says, "As expected from Jimmy-sensei." She smiles and says that the willpower of a teacher like him that's so attached to his job is certainly different, no matter the circumstances. She gets close to him and smugly smiles as she calls him a murderer. He looks at her and doesn't say anything. She continues and says that it's sad and he's only gotten used to his new job in their school. She asks him, wouldn't it be troublesome for him if others know of this, that he had forced his own students to their deaths in the past? They both look into each other's eyes as she tells him this. She smiles and tells him that she'd totally expect that even someone as hardy as Momo would be put off by this, and tells him that he really turned out to be much older than she had thought. She continues to yap and tells him that initially she thought that he was young, but knowing his actual age surprised her. As she's yapping, he calls her. He tells her that she's speaking quite a lot for once. Hearing this makes the smile off her face vanish. He continues to walk away as he tells her that since he's on a different schedule today, he's left with about 10 minutes till he has to clock in for work, and tells her to please return to her room. He suddenly stops and turns back as he remembers to tell her one more thing. He tells her that he doesn't know exactly what she knows about him, but if she's talking about what happened 10 years ago, he wants her to know that he had nothing to do with it. He tells her that those students brought it upon themselves. Now, in the lobby, the MC sees Momo sitting alone and calls her. Seeing him suddenly surprises her as she says, "Ga." He walks to her as he asks what's with that "ga" of hers. She replies and tells him that it's nothing. He takes a look at her clothes and sees that they are torn. He asks her why is she dressed like that. She tries covering them up and asks him, isn't it obvious that she's being bullied like always? She gets pissed as she says that everything had been going well recently during Momo's return to the modeling stage. But he can say that this was sort of a slip-up. Even if they can't write about how bad she looks anymore, the situation still hasn't gotten any better. After hearing all this, he just says, "Ah." Hearing him respond like this pisses her off even more, and she screams at him and asks, "What was that for? Isn't this the part where he should be removing his suit and putting it on her?" He asks her if that's a teacher's job. He tells her that he doesn't like removing his suit anyway. She asks him, didn't he do so when he was lecturing Oda last time? He replies and says, that's because he was splashed with acid, though it was rather dilute. She gets angry at him and tells him that's why he's still a virgin. He calmly replies to her and says that he's a virgin of his own will. She starts panting as she's tired from all the screaming at him. He reaches into his bag as he tells her that luckily he came at the right time and that he has a spare one for her right here. He holds it out to her so she can take it. She doesn't take it, so he questions her. She looks sad as she asks him if he's being kind to her because he's at his job now. Suddenly, she grabs his tie, and as she thinks that no matter how much she believes in it, no matter how much she thinks about it, even if he knows that he's a big fat liar, as she's thinking this, we see that she pulled him so that she can kiss him. As she's very close to kissing him, Mari sees this. She looks at Momo from the back as she's going in for the kiss and thinks about when she asked Momo why was she so desperate. And this is how this chapter ends. Hope you all enjoyed. Please like, share, and subscribe, and leave a comment. Thank you